Good morning, children. I hope you are doing well. So today I am going to start the first chapter of our 12th class, that is financial statement of not-for-profit organization, or we call it as non-profit organization. So in 11th standard, the last chapter which you have completed was preparing a financial statement of sole proprietorship. So little bit it's similar to those financial statements which the numerical part which we are going to study will be similar to those those statements which is similar to those profit and loss account and balance sheet account. Income and expenditure account represents profit and loss account, and balance sheet already you know what is balance sheet. So before we start the numerical parts, let's go for the theory part. I'll explain you what is NPOs, what is non-profit organizations. In short, we call it as NPOs. So the main purpose of NPOs is not to earn the profit, but to provide facilities and services to the public. So I'll just read out and explain you. NPOs are the setup with the objective to further cultural, educational, health and religious public services to public, etc. Profit is not a main objective of such organizations. Examples we have like school, colleges, public hospitals, literary societies, societies for promotion of sports, arts and culture, and club, etc. So basically NPOs means their main purpose is to provide services to the public with a reasonable rate of charging them fees, etc. Now obviously whenever an organization needs to run, they need the funds, and if it was a sole proprietorship, the owner used to invest the money himself in the business. But if it is a non-profit organization, they have to depend on the funds given by different people, the rich class people who are willing to donate it to the organizations. Now here we have some sources of income. Sources of income we have is one of the way of to get the sources of income is donation, membership fee, subscriptions, loans and grants. Loans and grants and donations are little bit similar. It can be given by the government also. It can be given by certain financial institutions. Some financial institutions, some individuals, those who belong to higher rich class families, and those who will to provide some help to such organization will donate the money. So this is the way how the NPOs are going to create the funds to start their business. So this membership fee and subscription means now what happens? This organization is first inviting the members, some individuals, to join this club or to join this organization. So when these individuals get ready to join certain organization, the people who are going to join will be considered as members, and now each member has to pay certain fees to become the member of such organization. It can be anything, as I told you, it can be even club, it can be any societies. So when they pay this membership fee, it becomes the fund of the organization. Collectively, the fees which is belonging to all the members, and it will be converted as membership fee. Similarly, subscription is also the other name of the fees, you can say. This is one like member fees means just to get admission in that organization will be membership fee, and subscription means every year when you want to renew your membership fee, you have to pay certain amount. So that renewable fee which you are going to pay is considered as subscription. So every year the individuals, the members are going to pay certain amount as subscription, and which will be used as the fund of such organization. Now who will be controlling the activities and who will be looking after this organization? We want to discuss is the management about this organization will be group of individuals known as trustees. Now those members already they are the part of the members one. They take the responsibility, they frame a group and they consider it the group as a trustee, or we call it as managing committee. This group of members or this managing committee now is going to take the control of the organization, of running of this organization. Also will take care of the financial statements, also will take care of all the income and expenses related with the business, how to raise the fund, how to provide better facilities to the members, etc. Just like other manufacturing industries, whatever the role the manager generally plays will be done by this managing committee in NPOs also. Okay, I hope you people have understood the theory part of what is NPO and how it is framed and from where they get the funds. So we are going to study later on the other topic, that is what statements we are going to prepare in this chapter. We are going to prepare receipts and payment account, then we are going to prepare income and expenditure account, and finally we are going to make balance sheet. So I have drawn the format of receipts and payment account here. You can see this. Now you can compare this receipts and payment account with the cash account which you have studied in 11th standard. Why I am asking you again and again to compare it with 11th standard? Because lately what you have studied of making of financial statement, one of them was the cash book which we have studied in subsidiary books. Receipts and payment account is similar to cash book or cash account. You very well know that cash book or cash account doesn't deal with whether it was a capital income or whether it was a revenue income. Similarly, in receipts and payment account, we are not bothered that whether it is a capital income or revenue income, or whether it is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. So, first of all, the format I will explain you that receipts and payment side, debit side we have receipts. All the receipts including capital receipts and revenue receipts. Credit side we have payments. This similarly payment also will be capital payment as well as revenue payments. I hope you know that what is capital receipts and what is revenue receipts. Still in a short I will just explain you that capital receipts means something which you are acquiring for once in a life, or it may not be reoccurring again and again. Similarly, capital expenditure means something you are spending once for a life in the business and which is going to yield you the benefit for few more coming years. It can be 10 years, it can be 20 years. So whatever you spend for which is increasing your earning capacity for few more future years, such expenses we call it as capital expenditure. And similarly for receipts also is like the receipts which you are not going to get frequently or which you are not going to get it every year will be your capital receipt. Similarly, what is your revenue receipts and revenue expenses? Revenue receipts means every month you are going to get those receipts. Those receipts means those incomes. So, with the incomes which you get every month frequently, which is in recurring nature, those are considered as revenue receipts. And similarly, what are your revenue expenses? So, expenses every month which you pay or every year you pay, which is frequent in nature, which is recurring month after month or year after year. So, such expenses we call it as revenue expenses. So what happens in receipts and payment, we are not classifying them whether the receipt is capital receipt or revenue receipt. We are not classifying whether the payment means the expenses are capital expenses or revenue expenses. We are just recording all the incomes on debit side and all the expenses on credit side, whether it can be of capital nature or whether it can be of revenue nature. Now, again another point, as you know in profit and loss account last year, you have studied that profit and loss account deals with accrual concept, accrual basis. Accrual basis means we note down the transactions, we note down the incomes and expenses only related with that particular year. We do not take into consideration the last year or the future year. So that is the reason we have the terms called outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, or earned on income, or income received in advance we call it. So such four expenses we have, or four terms we have shown in profit and loss account. So same thing, like this accrual basis is not followed in receipts and payment. That means we are not going to see whatever income we are going to record here. It can belong to this year, maybe of last year, or maybe of future year, or maybe of 4 years coming in the future, or maybe belonging to 2 to 4 years of past. So we do not see whether we have received whatever income is belonging to present year or to other years. We just keep on recording whatever we have received on debit side. Similarly, whenever there is a payment, we are not concerned about whether the payment is only belonging to this particular year, or whether the payment is for future year, or whether it was outstanding of the last year. So basically, in short, receipts and payment account doesn't follow the accrual concept. That means it follows the cash basis concept. We had two concepts earlier. One was cash basis and another was accrual basis. So cash book we used to make according to the cash basis. That's the reason I told you to just remember the cash book, so that you can compare, you can match it with this receipts and payment account. So receipts and payment account also is going to follow the cash basis. So all the expenses, the rent, salary, etc. I'll show you. I'll just discuss all the expenses and income. But just now I want to just give an example of this salary and rent. Suppose salary and rent you have paid 40,000. Now this 40,000 per year the rent is 10,000, but you are paying 40,000. And somewhere in the adjustment you will get the information that the rent was belonging to last 1 year, or maybe last 2 years, or maybe the rent belongs to the future year also, that is next year also. So that means we should only enter the rent of 1 year, but it is not a accrual concept. That's the reason we are entering whatever amount we have paid, full 40,000 as a rent, whether it is belonging to this year, plus it is belonging to future year, plus it is belonging to past year. Whatever, but we have paid as a rent 40,000, we are going to record it as 40,000. So some of the incomes and some of the expenses I have written here on the board. Let's go and go through the content. First of all, always, just like cash book, we should start on the debit side with the opening balance of that current year. That is, on the first day, 1st of April, whatever the balance you have, that you are going to write on the debit side. So if you have both cash balance as well bank balance, you are going to write both. Two balance brought down, cash in hand, cash at bank. Now you have subscription. As I told you, the sources of income for NPOs are this following sources. Like one of them is donation, membership fee, subscription, grants, loans, etc. So that means these are all the receipts which you are going to receive. So obviously we are going to record it under the heading of receipts in receipts and payment. So like subscriptions, donations, entrance fee are this, all this are your receipts. Then comes sale of old newspaper. Sometimes there are small minor amount of incomes also, like when you sell the old newspaper which is of no use to you, you get certain amount, that is also your income, that is also your receipt. So you are going to write it here under the column of receipts. Sale of old newspaper, sale of your old sport materials. Suppose the organization is related with the sports activity, or it is a club related with providing the facility of playing the sports. So you have some your appliances, your instruments, or you call it as sports materials which are of no use now, which have become old. So you can sell them, and the amount which you get after selling it will be shown under selling. Then comes interest on investment. Sometimes, like when you have invested in some other organization with a motive of earning the interest or with a motive of getting in return something, so this interest on investment will be also a receipt for you. Then dividend receipt, when you invest your amount in shares, you will receive dividend. Or rent, if you have invested your property, if you have landed your property to some tenants, you will get the rent for that, that is also your income. Interest received, in some other way also you get interest if you have landed to some your subsidiary or to some personal relative or to your friend. Those investment also are subjected to receive interest. So that interest received will also be recorded here. Then sale of fixed asset. Similarly, as the old sport materials you sell, you also will be selling your fixed assets which have become very old. Maybe example like computer, typewriter, or furniture. So such fixed asset, when you sell it, you get the amount, the selling price, whatever you get is recorded here. Now talking about payment side, few payments I have written. In addition to this, there are many other incomes also I must tell you. I have written the main important receipts here. Other than that, you have few more receipts which you will come across when we are solving the numericals. Now payment side. Now if you have a negative balance in bank, that is we call it as overdraft. So if you see that last year's balance sheet has an overdraft reflecting in the liability side, so you are going to write it on the credit side because it is a negative balance. So by balance brought down bank holding. Now, which type of expenses do you have? We have expenses like salaries, rents, advertisement expenses. Then we have repairs, or we call it as maintenance expenses. Then we have insurance. We pay insurance premium. So those insurance premium you have paid is also an expense for you. Honorarium. What does honorarium means? Honorarium is the other name of the salary paid. But what happens? Sometimes when we call some reputed person or when we call some honorable person to help out with certain activities like teaching, etc., or some other help. So we cannot call it that in return when we are providing them some money, when we give them some money, we cannot call it as salary because it like for the person it won't be good to say that it is salary paid to this respectable person. So we use the word, a respected word that is called honorarium instead of using salaries. Now we pay municipal tax also. There are many taxes, like when you have started your organization in particular area, you have to pay municipal tax to government. Prize distribution. Now if it is a club, obviously, if it is a sports club or some other type of clubs, you must be always having competitions in such type of clubs. So when you have competitions, there will be obviously some prizes awarded. Now when you award the prizes, obviously there will be some expenses incurred to buy such prizes and to distribute them. So whatever expenses you have incurred in order to provide the awards to the people who are winning will be your expenses. Then office expenses, you know, like in manufacturing or trading companies, the expenses which we have seen earlier, all those expenses which come under the administrative level will be considered as office expenses. Then when you buy a new fixed asset, so suppose you are buying a computer and you are buying 3-4 computers, or suppose you are buying a cupboard, a furniture, table, chair, etc. For if you say if it is a sports club and when you buy the sports materials, if it is a gym, when you buy the certain appliances of your exercise like treadmill, etc., many appliances, you know all that. So when you buy it, that is the fixed asset Again, it is a expense and it is a capital expense, as I have explained you earlier what is capital expense and what is revenue expense. Then investment. Investment is also like you can consider it as non-current asset. So you are going to, if you are going to invest it for more of the years, more than 1 year, then obviously it becomes a capital nature, and if it is less than 1 year, then it will become a revenue expense. So again, if you are investing, your money is being invested somewhere, it is a sort of payment given to the other organization. And lastly, we are going to close this account by showing the balance carried on. You know how we get the balances at the end of the account. The balancing of the ledger you have studied earlier. We find out the total of both the sides, and whichever side has the lesser amount, you are going to write the balance carried down there, and this means that it is a closing balance of that particular account, that is receipts and payment account. So at the end you will have both the balances, that is cash in hand and cash at bank. So you are going to put it in inner column, and finally the digit in the outer column. Sometimes you may get the balance this side, and it is not for cash. Remember always, cash balance never has debit balance, but it can be for bank. Bank can have a debit balance, and so you can show it here to balance carried on in bracket bank OD. So I hope you have understood this receipts and payment account. The thing is just you have to remember that receipts and payment account is following the cash basis concept. That means you just keep on adding all the incomes on the receipt side and all the expenses on the credit side, not classifying them whether they are belonging to current year or whether they were belonging to previous year or whether they are belonging to the last year. Similarly, you don't have to see whether it is of capital nature or whether it is of revenue nature. We just write whatever we receive on debit side and whatever we pay it on credit side. Okay, so I have selected one illustration from T.S. Grade 1 which we refer for the chapters. Now illustration 2 has this information given. I have written the information on the board. Now from this information you have to make receipts and payment account. This information has not classified and whether it is a receipt or whether it is payment. All the transactions are given in a mixed form. You have to identify it yourself and you have to put it in the column accordingly, whether it is receipts or whether it is payment. So let's start with the first thing. Now here it is given that opening balance. Opening balance of cash and opening balance of bank. So as I taught you the format just now before I erased the board, I showed you that the balances, opening balances you show on the debit side. So we are going to start with the debit side. We will write here as to balance brought down both cash in hand and cash at bank. We can put the digits, that is 20,000 and 50,000. You can also put this both digits in inner column and then write total of it for total 70,000 in the outer column. This is also a correct way, and if you write it in inner column, that is also a correct way. Then second, subscriptions. Now subscriptions they have given of last year also, of next year also and of current year also. But in receipts and payment account, as I told you, we follow cash basis. So we are not going to look whether it is belonging to current year or not. We are going to copy it as it is, all the 3 years subscription as it is, we are going to show it in the inner column, and we can write it the final digit in outer column. Or again, we can write individual years, amount of individual year in the outer column directly. So I write subscriptions. I write 2018, 2019 and 2020 as 7,000, 1,21,600 and 50 to 100. Together I write it as 1,33,800. Okay. Then the next line is donation for building. Now as I told you, all the donations are the sources of income. So obviously if it is the sources of income, I am going to show it under the receipts heading. So I am going to write it as donations for building 70,000. Along with the donation for building, you have donation for match also. So again, donation for match is also your receipt. Donation for match is 14,000. We are going to write it as 14,000. Then comes match expenses. The word expenses itself indicates that it is your payment. So obviously all the expenses we are going to write it on payment side. So I am going to write match expenses on credit side. That is 6,000. Then comes salaries. Salaries obviously expense. So salaries will be 75,600. After salaries, you have rent. That means rent paid. If no information is given that whether it is rent received or whether it is rent paid, we consider it as a rent paid. That means always as an expense. So I am going to write here as rent paid 4,800. Now electricity expense. Again the expense means on payment side. Electricity expenses 7,600. Then comes books purchased. Now books are your fixed asset. For a library it can be a fixed asset. So if you are buying fixed asset, again you are spending your money towards that purchase. That means it is your expense. It is a capital expense, but still we note down all the expenses on the payment side, whether it is capital expenditure or whether it is revenue expenditure. So we are going to write purchase of books on payment side. So books purchased amount is 20,000. Next, 10% investment. It means you have invested some money in other organization with the purpose of earning some return. And that is also written, that means 10%. 10% investment means 10% of interest you are going to receive against this investment. So if you invest, again you are paying the money. So it is again a payment. So you are going to write it as 10% investment. Digit is 30,000. Next, interest on investment. Now this investment which you have made, on same investment you are receiving some interest. If you receive something, it won't be a payment, it will be your receipts, it is your revenue, it is your income. So you are going to show it under the heading that is receipts. So we will write it as interest on investment, that is 1750. Now entrance fee. Entrance fee means we are receiving entrance fee from the members, the people who want to join our organization. They are going to pay us certain entrance fee. That fee we are going to consider as your receipts. We are going to write it here on the receipt side. That is, entrance fee is 4,000. Now you see last terms given are cash balance and bank balance as closing balance, but they have not given the balance of bank in question. That means you are supposed to derive the balancing figure. What we are going to do, we are going to write here opening balance we write on the debit side and closing balance we write here on the payment side. So we are going to write it as balance carried down instead of opening. We are going to write as balance carried down. In balance carried down, you have both cash in hand is given as 25,600 and cash at bank is not given in the question. That means you cannot derive the final answer here. So what are we supposed to do? Now you know how to balance the accounts. You add the total of the receipt side, you add the total of payment side, and then we find the difference. This difference we get here and put it here. But now also in the inner column you have two terms, cash in hand and cash at bank. So whatever total you get here, again this cash in hand you are going to subtract from this digit and you will get this cash at bank. So if I add this side, I get this digit, that is 2,93,550. This is receipt side. What is payment side? Payment side I have added and I have got it as 1,44,000 here. I got the difference. This is difference. Difference I have got 1,49,550. Now this I am going to put it here in this column which we have derived it. So the answer is 1,49,550. Now this digit you have already got and you have this in hand, so you can get this cash at bank. How will we get it? Again we will subtract 25,600 from this. So 5, 9, 3, 2, 1. So 123. Here you are going to write this digit as 1,23,950. So you have got the closing balance of cash at bank also. In this way we have completed our receipts and payment account.